funny, I was joking with my favorite bus driver, and we were talking about how grim everything could look, and we were thinking maybe Trump will do the right thing for the wrong reasons. And then I was looking out over the church last week, and we were packed. And I thought, yeah, Trump is driving people into our church. I understand the Supreme Court says I can do this now. From the fragmented world of our everyday lives, we gather in search of wholeness. May we know once again that we are not isolated beings, but connected in mystery and miracle to this universe, to our faith, and to each other. Good morning, everyone. My name is Augie Sabini. I'm the worship associate today. I'm dressed pretty well. I've got not my favorite Hawaiian shirt, my next favorite Hawaiian shirt. And I'm kind of short, balding, a little overweight, but still happy, I'll tell you. Well, we're doing something a little different today that may require some courage. Because making new friends, talking with strangers, opening yourself to other people can be a scary thing. I don't know. Today's service will invite you into a few activities which will hopefully spark connection and may even make some new friendships. At about 10:30, after Joys and Sorrows and a centering song, our ministerial intern, Ember, will lead the activities for you Zoomers in a separate interactive meeting. You'll find that link in chat, on our website homepage, on the church calendar, or in July 10th weekly connections. Once your meeting with Ember is complete, you'll return to this webinar for the conclusion of the service. And now, I invite you to ground your body in the wisdom of the earth. Lift your mind to the expanse of the heavens. Open your heart to the possibilities this day offers. With your help, we are going to light the chalice. Something slip. We light the flame in this chalice as a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, with these words by Marissa Franco. Friendship doesn't always begin with lightning. More often, it begins quietly, in repeated hellos, in shared time, in small acts of presence. We become friends not all at once, but by showing up again and again and again.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jen Youngsun Ryu, and I'm the minister serving this beautiful congregation. I use the pronouns she and her, and for anyone needing a visual description, I'm wearing mostly white today and a bright blue stole. Do we have any children in the house? Yes? Well, do you want to come up? And I've got a very short story for you, but come on up and we'll gather right here by the chalice. I have a story from the Hasidic tradition, and it's about friendship. I'm wondering, can you tell me about your friends? Does anybody have a best friend? Do you have a best friend? Yeah. Yeah, what's their name?
Levy.
Levy. What do you like about Levy?
We've been friends ever since first grade.
You've been friends ever since first grade. Cool. Anybody else want to talk about their friend? Yeah.
Aiden and me, I don't know how long we've been best friends, but I think all the way since I was 2 or 3.
You've been friends with your best friend since you were maybe 2, or you don't even remember. Maybe it was even before then. Yeah, and their name is Aiden.
And Elliot, too.
And Elliot, too, yeah. How about you?
Bo.
Bo is your best friend? What do you like about Bo?
He always plays with me.
He always plays with you. That's a good quality in a friend.
At school.
And at school. Nice. So this story starts a long, long time ago in a place very, very far away. And there was once a young boy who traveled a great distance to go see a very wise rabbi. And when he arrived, he found that the rabbi was sitting with his best friend, and they were quietly sharing a cup of tea. And the young boy kind of hesitated at the door because he didn't want to bother the rabbi and his best friend. And right before he was about to knock, the rabbi looked up and had a big smile on his face and said, come in, young man, come and sit down. What can we do for you? And the boy was silent for a while because he felt kind of bad. He said, I feel kind of ashamed. I've made some mistakes. And I don't feel like I can be a very good friend to anybody. The rabbi listened very carefully and kindly, and he put his hand on the top of the boy's head and said, you know what, let me tell you a secret. A heart that has never been broken is like a sealed jar. It can't share its contents, and it can't be filled by others. But a heart that has been opened by pain and regret and longing, now there is a vessel that can both pour out and receive. Friendship begins when we dare to show our cracks and let others inside. And at that moment, the rabbi's best friend spoke up and said, you know, when I met the rabbi, and maybe we were in 2nd grade or something like that, I was also really weighed down with burdens, and I didn't feel like I was worthy to be a friend to anybody. But when I finally told Rabbi the truth, I discovered that my honesty, that was the thing that brought us together and made us good friends. And the boy felt a weight lift from his heart, and he realized that true friendship isn't built on perfection, but it's built on the willingness to be seen truly as we are, and actually to risk some rejection sometimes to find that connection. Isn't that a good story? Yeah. So I think you all have some fun things planned, yes? Yeah? So if you want to follow your teachers out, we're going to sing our blessing song for you, okay? I hope you have a fun day. I had a feeling we would have a rather light RE religious education day today because most of the congregation is out at the all-church campout. And I thought, well, maybe there will be like 50 people here today, but we've got a lot more. Thank you all for being here. Indeed, it takes some vulnerability and some risk in order to move from surface level relationships into deeper ones. And this ritual of joys and sorrows, this ritual of sharing from the deepest places of our lives is one way that we can deepen those connections. And so I invite you, as you are moved, to go to one of our Joys and Sorrows stations. You can place a stone in water to represent the things that you have been carrying throughout the week. We also have a book and some loose sheets of paper. If you write on them, we'll collect them all and we'll read those from the pulpit. And Zoom friends, you've got Ember there, and Ember will collect your joys and sorrows and read them a little bit later. All this is life, isn't it? It's the births and the deaths. It's the graduations and the marriages. It's the slow passing away, and it's the sudden and abrupt end to things. It's impossible just to say yes to some of it and block out the rest. If we are to embrace all of life, we are to embrace all of life. And so we give thanks today for everything. Amen. Last week, we explored one of life's many, many paradoxes, that I am but a speck of dust, just vapor, and yet I am a beloved child of God, and this whole world was created just for me. Today, we're going to turn to another paradox, and that is that thanks to digital communications technology, we are more connected than ever before. We can reach out across the globe without even having to leave our beds, right? And yet, many, many of us struggle to form and sustain meaningful relationships. A few weeks ago, I read an article in the Register Guard. It was announcing an upcoming event, something called speed friending. Did anybody see that? Yeah, it was called speed friending, right? And it's like speed dating, except just to make platonic friends. The organizer had just recently moved here from Seattle, and she thought, well, Eugene, it's a smaller, little cute town. Surely it will be easier to make friends here. Nah, not so much. Having spent the last 4 years here in Eugene with you all, I know that this longing to make new friends and this longing for connection is not unusual at all. There's a deep and sometimes painful yearning that I feel in this congregation for closer and more meaningful relationships. And that need is fundamental, just like food and air and water and shelter. At the same time, we're often held back by the quiet stories that churn in our brains. Stories like, well, all those people, they have enough friends, they don't need me. Or, I'm the only one that doesn't have any real friends. Or, oh, I don't want to impose on other people. I feel too awkward. No one is going to want to hang out with me. And if I say, hey, I need a friend, I'm afraid that I'm going to look weak. These stories, as familiar as they are, they just aren't true. And clinging to those mind stories will just keep us at arm's length from everybody else, while at the same time, we have this deep longing to come closer. This morning, Augie and I want to encourage you to let go of some of those stories, to loosen your grip on some of them. Because the truth is that you are not alone, and friendship is available here. Now, you all have pieces of paper in front of you. We're going to do 2 exercises today. The first exercise is something called friendship mapping. It's the blank piece of paper that says exercise number 1 at the top. Exercise number 1 is a solo activity. Oh, I missed this table. Okay, you just need blank pieces of paper. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh yeah, we've got extras over here. So what you do is, in the middle of the paper, either put your name or draw a figure of yourself. You are the center of your universe. So put yourself in the middle of the paper, and then write the names of your closest friends nearest to you. We're kind of going in concentric circles. Your nearest friends, and then out in the other orbit, the next orbit, write down the names of people you kind of are close to, or maybe you're just getting to know, and then just keep going. Make a map of your friends, work friends, church friends, neighbors. You can even write the names of friends that you have long lost through death or through some other kind of separation. Kat, can you give us 6 minutes for this exercise? We're going to put a timer up here. You can color code, you can make symbols if you want. If you find this exercise challenging for any reason, I just invite you to use your powers of curiosity and gentle self-care. Do as much as you want to do. If you don't want to do it at all, you don't have to. You can draw pictures. I got fidget toys over here if you need them. What do you notice about your map? Oh, let me grab a mic.
I have more on the outside than the inside.
What's your name?
Teddy.
Mine are all women.
Do you find that you feel like you don't really want to share your map with anybody else?
I'm not sure they can read it.
How do you feel about your map? Here you go.
Mine wrap around me.
Can you say that again?
Mine wrap around me.
And give your name.
Anne.
Mine are all from work or church.
Mine are all friends, but I look at that and say, how often do I connect with them?
There are some who are friends who I do things with, but there have also been some real breaches of trust sometimes, which you kind of spoke to earlier. And so there's this sense of love and spending time together, but also maybe a bit of a lot of vulnerability.
Yeah, thank you. The words for this morning's chalice lighting came from the Dr. Marisa Franco. She wrote this book called Platonic, and she offers 3 building blocks for friendship: initiation, consistency, and vulnerability. Remember the words from this morning's chalice lighting. Friendship doesn't always begin with lightning. More often, it begins quietly, in repeated hellos, in shared time, in small acts of presence. We become friends not all at once, but by showing up again and again. It begins by taking small risks: a wave, a smile, a question, an offering to sit next to you in an open seat. Initiation is an act of courage and not necessarily confidence. Now, I know that there are extroverts among us, and you have no problems talking to strangers or making friends. You feel socially very comfortable. But for those of us who feel scared and anxious and unsure, remember that it's okay to feel nervous when we reach out. It's a choice that we make to reach out when we have no idea what is going to happen after we put ourselves out there. Each time we extend ourselves in these small ways, what we're saying is, you matter to me, and I want to know you. Initiation doesn't require perfect words. It just requires a willingness to go first. Just be willing to go first. And then having the faith that we are not meant to be strangers forever. Augie, you were telling me a story last week about taking a small risk in your life, right? How did that go?
Well, it's interesting because when you jam music together, there's a kind of intimacy that's there. I'm beginning to understand that it's deep, but it's narrow. And there's a friend I've been jamming with, and you know, I've gotten to know a little here and there, and we text a lot and joke here and there. But I noticed he was arranging the memorial jam for our friend Blue Owens, and he was getting kind of surly. He was so frustrated with this, that, and the other thing. It was becoming a burden, and yet it was something that he really wanted to do. And I also realized, I knew that his wife was dealing with cancer. And I mean, for a long time, and a lot of chemo. And I realized that that was another burden on him, that was even perhaps the burden that was going. So I said, hey, and I had never thought this, it made me nervous, but I said, you want to get together for coffee? And he said, oh, gee, I don't know what I can do today. And of course, I had made other plans by the time he called me back and said, let's go for coffee. And we did, and we talked. And we can really look out for each other a lot more now.
Augie, how did you feel when you were thinking about asking him for coffee?
Maybe he, maybe he doesn't want to get that deep.
Yeah.
Or
So
that broad. Deep we are.
it was a risk, right?
Yes.
It was a risk, and you
was a
put yourself
step.
out there.
In a direction that I haven't been taken with a lot of people here that I like.
Yeah, thank you. So if initiation, like Augie's risky small step, if initiation is the spark, then consistency is the steady flame. Showing up again and again and again and again. Repeated casual interactions help us to build trust. And so that can be as easy as chatting in the kitchen, putting away the coffee. It is sitting next to the same person week after week in Sunday services, or pulling weeds together on Tuesday mornings. Each offers another opportunity to take a small risk, to move from stranger to friend. Now, presence can also be virtual, and for some people, that may be the best way that they can connect. A few years ago, a very kind member here introduced me to a person that she thought, we would get along. And so I met this person for coffee, And then we had lunch. But, after that, we never followed up with each other. And it's not like something dramatic happened. We had a very nice time together. We just weren't part of each other's kind of regular lives and regular rhythms. And without that consistency of presence, the connection just kind of fizzled. I think that's why it was so hard, it was so easy to make friends in school. When we were in school, we were just with the same group of people day after day, week after week, even year after year sometimes, right? And I think spiritual community can also be a place where people gather with consistency. And so it can be an ideal setting for friendships to bloom. But we all have to just kind of shift from expecting that connection to happen automatically to intentionally creating it. Creating connections, creating new connections, and deepening the ones you already have isn't just for those of us who are looking for new friends. It's also a good spiritual discipline for those who are on the path of growing and opening your heart. So the spiritual practice is noticing. Notice who is alone. Notice who is standing with a coffee cup all by themselves in coffee hour. Notice when you have a close circle of friends that you're having a conversation with and you're blocking out any new person who might come along. Leave an empty chair. Leave an opening in a circle. Be the one to initiate, even when it feels risky, and then be consistent in your presence. Friendship asks a lot more of us than just presence. It asks us to bring our whole selves, not just our strengths, but also our questioning, not just our stories of triumph, but also our stories of ache. Vulnerability, then, is the third building block for friendship. Without it, without vulnerability, we will just remain pleasant acquaintances. With it, we can really begin to trust one another. And in that trust, real friendship can take root. To be vulnerable, of course, is not to be weak. It is to believe that someone else might hold our truth with care. It is to believe that we are not alone, and what is hidden deep inside of us really can be shared with another, and then we can still be loved for who we are. The world can be a cold, cruel place, can't it? A place, as Audre Lorde once said, where we are constantly encouraged to pluck out one part of ourselves and present it as the whole, denying all the rest. But here, within an intentional spiritual community, we aspire to create a different kind of place where people can risk being seen as a whole and not be met with judgment. Now, I know that we do this imperfectly. We have failed and we will continue to fail many times. But when that happens, we just forgive ourselves, we forgive each other, and we begin again in love. Now, I want to invite you to take some gentle steps into vulnerability if you want to, if you feel ready. This is exercise number 2. You are welcome to sit quietly and just reflect silently on your own. You can say, no, thank you, I don't want to do this exercise, and that's fine. But if you are willing, find one person to share with. Find one person to share one of these things, one of the 4 bullet points on your table. Something that makes you feel sad, something that you regret from your life, something that makes you maybe feel small and unsure, or something that makes you feel tender. So find one person that you don't know, hopefully, and we're going to share for another couple of minutes. Just share, like, how was that for you? Was it very anxiety producing? Was it scary? Was it fun? How was it for you? Yeah.
Very anxiety producing.
Anxiety producing
Yet really connecting.
and really connecting at the same time. Jones. Easier than small talk. It's easier than small talk to just dive into like really deep questions. Stephanie.
I thought it was really fun. I wish we had more time.
I thought it was really fun. I wish we had more time, Stephanie says. Yeah.
I really wanted to tell my side of the story.
You wanted to tell your side of the story, Janet? Okay, well, I mean, there's coffee hour. There's time.
I don't think I did the right part of this exercise because I wasn't talking about friendship. I was talking about another regret in my life. So
Yeah, that was the exercise. The exercise was share with someone in a vulnerable way a regret. It didn't have to be about friendship. It was just like share something, because vulnerability is one of those building blocks of friendship. If you can get to a place of vulnerability, then you can go deeper. Otherwise, we can have lots and lots of acquaintances. We could have hundreds of acquaintances, right? But if we want something more meaningful, then we have to be willing to be vulnerable. We have to be willing to talk about regrets, right? And sadness and pain. Well, thank you all for taking the time to do this. I know that coming into a space, being invited to do something, it's a little bit scary. It's not maybe what you expected to come into this morning. I know that some of you came into this room and you were like, what is going on? Where are all the chairs? Where am I supposed to sit? So I appreciate your openness. I appreciate your willingness. May the friendships you seek begin to take root in fertile soil. May you reach out always with kindness and return to each other in consistency. And may you always trust that you, all of you, is worthy to be known. Amen. Now let's say our closing words together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now, my friends, as you move into this brand new day and this brand new week, take the risk to reach out first. Show up with steadiness and care, and share your unique beauty with the world. It needs it. Go in love, my friends. Go in peace.